Hi, I'm Melody Cocola. You could call me Melody. And I'm here to tell you about my remembrance of the bar and how it fit into my family. As I understand it, my grandparents purchased the business during the 1940s when my father was serving overseas in World War II. So the Melody Bar, as I was growing up, was a family business. The tavern was downstairs. Ladies sat in the back room. We lived upstairs. We were 3 generations. Myself, my parents, my grandparents. We were bilingual, Hungarian and English, which represented the neighborhood. The neighborhood changed. People moved. People died. It would open maybe 9 or 10 in the morning and close about 10 in the evening. So when my mother sold it in 1980, it took on a whole new life. And instead of a daytime existence, it was a nighttime business.
So I was DJing at Todd's, which was over there in in another not so desirable part of town, and I was DJing at Charlie's Uncle. On Tuesday nights, it was Matt Pinfield's New Wave night and Punk night, and Wednesday to Sunday was Richie Zambora and Friends, the guy from Bon Jovi. Before he was playing in Bon Jovi, playing Billy Joel and Beatles covers. And the owners of Melody came over after they had heard my cassette mixes, and they said, "Man, you're drawing 500 people in a lounge of a bar. Why don't you bring your turntables here?" So it's the greatest story ever. We put our turntables on the cutting board in the kitchen at the Melody. And you know what? I loved the Melody. Had an unbelievable magic. That's how I got started there. But I want to say that in all honesty, it was my home for a very long time. I loved it. It was a place I spent 3 nights a week, entertaining people with music. But it was not just a bar or not just a club. It was very much a lifestyle. And I attribute that to New Brunswick itself, too, at the time. But the Melody and the Court were cool. They were great. They were great because they housed their own thing. And the truth is, the Melody was very, very special. And you know what? I love the owners, Cal and Steve. They fell out. That's why they locked the doors. They didn't want to pay for the liquor license insurance. But you know what? I mean, I had a baby when, I was struggling. And I was working at a Jersey Shore radio station doing weekends and overnights and a car breaking down on Route 18 before cell phones, like digging myself out of snow fucking banks. You know what? Those guys supported me. I mean, and I supported, and I brought in a lot of business, but I've got nothing but a lot of love for it. But there was something very magical about there was just this incredible connection. I don't necessarily, again, attribute it to the music, to the atmosphere, to the people. I think it was this place. People talk about New Brunswick being the hub. I think there's an idea of the centralism of New Brunswick, but the Melody itself, that it was not a place to turn away or have an attitude or to judge other people. Because I had a big gay following and a big straight following. I had jocks, I had artists, I had freaks, I had lawyers. I mean, but the bar, that was, what I'm saying is I'm talking about the bar and what I did in the other DJs. It was a beautiful time. I don't know if it could ever be repeated. I think it has a lot to do with the creative flair of what was going on at the time. There was a birth and the explosion of punk and post-punk and new wave, and I just think it was before people had to box everything into categories, and it was about expressionism. And I think that people could do what they wanted to do. It was a lovely time. I'm very grateful I was a part of it. I don't ever discount that it has so much to do with who I am today, because it does. I love it. I love the Melody.
Hello, my name is Dolomite Jenkins Esquire, and this is that beautiful show known as Channel X. I'm here at 106 French Street in New Brunswick, New Jersey, also known as The Melody.
And it was more or less the Sistine Chapel. I think it was their nickname at one point, because every quarter or so, they would repaint the walls into being this, into these murals that were just like, why would we want to paint over this in about 3 or 4 months? Why? And I mean, upstairs, downstairs, people used to do some work in the Melody.